So I made a video about somebody else's mirrors, blaming them. Like, how freaking embarrassing is that? That's absolutely terrible. And that's like the worst, when somebody takes a risk on you, because you got to think. That is a fat freaking stack right there, boy. More money than I know what to do with for dang sure. But man, it is nice to have the Jeep paid for and sold off. So who here has something we need? That's for sure. We need something else, don't we? Or maybe we don't, because the bank's gonna take 90% of this and leave me maybe just a couple of these here. Yeah, that's what happens when you still have an outstanding loan. Really makes me feel uneasy having this amount of money at one time. I really don't know. It feels different when you have a check, but when you have it in cash in your hand, it feels some type of way. I don't even like having that much money, to be honest with you. More happy with the $3 a day here on YouTube. Welcome back. Today I have been doing some maintenance here on my LML, as you can see behind me. We do have the summer wheel and tires set up back on there. We're going to go through a couple things that I want to open up to, but I felt it would be a good opportunity today to share some useful information that I think you guys could find handy, and well, things that I've learned along the way. And I want to talk a lot about how to get sponsorships on social media. I've been asked this question a bunch, well, maybe 4 or 5 times, which is a lot for me. So I figured it was time to make a video and share some very personal stories about how I came in contact with some of the companies that you see here on the channel, as well as on the Instagram, because everybody wants to know, how do I get my truck sponsored? Let's get into it. And real quick, before we get started, guys, I do want to preface the fact that you are going to see this absolutely gorgeous shop here that Ovi lets me film in. God bless him for that, but I did not start with all these crazy things to be able to film in. So don't think that you have to have all the money in the world to get started. I started in my garage with less than 100 subscribers on my channel and no Instagram account to go along with it. So don't feel like you have to be on top already to land these sort of deals and sponsorships. Just focus on being yourself, being open, authentic, using what knowledge and experience you may have. I do not have a ton of mechanical experience. I am not a mechanic, so I've messed up a lot of things and still continue to get deals. So I do want to share that with you guys, some of the mistakes I've made and learned along the way. I just try to be absolutely myself, which is hard to do. I blank out a lot on camera, so I am not perfect by any means. I'm just a guy, okay? And we're also not on top either. We're ticking up close to 3,000 subscribers now, less than 500, well, right about 500 followers on the Instagram. That's a little bit newer there. So again, not super big, not trying to act like I know it all, just trying to share my experience. Right here is my 2015 LML. And right at the beginning of my channel, I did put this cold air intake on in my garage and just made a video just to try to jumpstart my channel. Did not get sponsored for this intake by any means. Just something I genuinely bought, loved it, thought it looked good, had good reviews, you know, and I put it on. The video did pretty well, actually, so I ended up sending it to HSP. They loved the video. They ended up actually calling me, wanting to set up a meeting, which was really cool. They told me that I reminded them kind of a Truckmaster vibe, which I took very, very to heart, because, you know, he's a big deal. He's awesome, genuine, great person. So I thought that was really cool. They wanted to work with me. I only had like 100 subscribers, like I said, at the time. And they're like, no, let's get something going. We don't have to put anything in writing. Let's just try to form a natural bond. So with HSP, that sucker hit off right from the jump. So we've done a lot of different things. I believe the next one might have been the hot side turbo pipe there that we actually filmed down at Ovi's shop. And then might have been the track bars after that, which is funny because on the track bars, I was only able to get one of those bolts. That bolt is not there. That's not good. I couldn't get all the bolts on. Super embarrassed to say that, and I still need to get them on there. But again, they come through with this for us, which was super, super amazing. We've done a ton of other stuff. The fuse box cover here, I ended up buying myself with a YouTube paycheck. A little bit later on, this is a more recent one, but we did this one together. And then on Ovi's L5P, we did a ton of stuff together on that, which has been super amazing. They've been absolutely awesome. You can see them over here. I'm just trying to set some of the stuff out. This ain't everything, by the way. But again, HSP has been with us from the jump. They are our #1 supporter by far, which is absolutely incredible. Everything I tag them in, they share on the Instagram. We've done collab posts, etc. That company is super, super awesome. So then after that, we ended up linking up with Boost Auto Parts. I actually made a video about these eBay mirrors. These are eBay mirrors, by the way. And I thought they were Boost Auto Parts, and I was mad because the wiring was all messed up. I couldn't figure it out. So I made a frustrated video when I first started the channel. I'm super embarrassed by it. I actually wanted to delete it, but I didn't. I figured it could be part of my story. But Boost Auto Parts ended up seeing that video and emailed me and said, hey, we're sorry about your experience with us. Can you find an order number? We can try to make it right for you. I couldn't find one because I didn't know at the time that it wasn't their mirrors at all. So I made a video about somebody else's mirrors, blaming them. Like, how freaking embarrassing is that? That's absolutely terrible. And nonetheless, they're like, let's make it right anyway. You want to work together? You got any vehicles you want to do stuff on? And it's so random. I don't even know why I deserve this, and I really don't, but they ended up sending out running boards for this truck. They're light up ones when they first came out, and then for my wife's Jeep as well. I can't believe it. I was so thankful for the opportunity to work with Boost Auto Parts, a big name, obviously, in the industry. The connection we had there, that guy ended up leaving, so now they got a new person in there. They're still very nice to us. But we did do a ton of other stuff. We actually ended up getting tow mirrors for Ovi's flatbed from them. We did a key fob on my LML race Denali. And I'm trying to think, we've done some other stuff with them. Oh, cab lights on the L5P. We did that with them as well. So we've done a lot of Boost Auto Parts things. Super grateful for that opportunity too. We've done collabs on Instagram that run up a ton of views. So shout out to Boost Auto Parts, man. They've been absolutely great. So yeah, what a story on how to get sponsored by Boost Auto, right? That's just terrible. The next one over here is Blessed Performance. How about that? Blessed Performance, absolutely epic. With those guys, I ended up DMing them on Instagram saying, hey, we got a 6.0 on the channel. We're gonna make a video, try to roast the tires, yada yada. With the little 6.0 project, I was looking for a sponsor for the video. I just knew that they do a lot of 6.0 parts, etc. So I reached out just on a whim. Hey guys, would you be interested in helping sponsor a video? This is what I'm thinking, yada yada. They said absolutely, we'll send you a care package. So we ended up getting a ton of goodies from them, ended up sharing a bunch of that stuff with the guys, Ovi, Brady, etc. down at the shop. I'm just trying to give to everybody, you know, share the love. That's what it's all about. They sent out a package for us for that video, and I felt terrible because that video ended up not doing very good, I'll admit. And that's like the worst, when somebody takes a risk on you, because you got to think that these companies want something in return, right? Or they should, they just don't like giving you stuff for no reason. I mean, that's not a good business model. So when you get stuff, you want to put it on for them, you want to wear it in the videos, you hope the videos do well so it attracts people to their site, their products, etc., right? So it's almost like you've been hired. A lot of times companies pay for spotlights too. We're definitely not on that level. Maybe some of the bigger names, you know, like Whistling Diesel and Custom Offsets, or whoever else, Street Speed does them, you know, and I've heard they're very lucrative too, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 for a spotlight, which is wild. We're not on that level at all. I'm cool with a t-shirt and a koozie, you know what I mean? Just thankful that anybody would really take a risk for us. So again, when the people invest time, energy, products into us and the video does poor, I feel absolutely terrible. So that's kind of the risk. I mean, that's kind of the risk with the smaller channels, right? So that's why I'm not afraid to get ignored. I've been ignored a lot on some of these requests, so we'll talk about that without singling companies out after a bit, but that's Blessed Performance. Let's flip around. What's next? Oh, we ended up doing a load trail one, I think, after that. I ended up buying a load trailer, so At least I got a hat out of the deal. No, we got more than that. I bought the trailer anyway without a sponsorship, and then ended up emailing the company, went on their website, got the link, sent them the video. I said, hey, I'm super stoked with my trailer. Here's a video I made. Maybe you guys can use it, etc. They freaked out. They loved it. They're like, oh, man, we'd love to send you some gear for the channel. I said, no way, man. That's awesome. So they sent us a whole box of goodies, man. Again, went down to the shop with Ovi Brady, opened the box up on the channel, shared the love with a bunch of the guys down there, and that video did terrible too. But they've been so supportive. They share everything on the Instagram with us. It's so, so cool. Those guys were so nice. I mean, epic. I cannot wait to buy more trailers in the future. You know what I mean? So that one was really cool and special to me as well. We'll never not rock with Load Trail at this rate. Then after that, we did LasFit liners. I seen that one on Brandon 24 Valve's video. He's been rocking with LasFit for a while. Not in this truck. Don't know why I'm showing you, but in Ovi's L5P, he wanted some floor mats. I said, let's reach out to LasFit. So I sent him a couple pictures of the L5P and told him we were doing a video series on the channel with that. They said, oh yeah, we'd love to be a part of that. Let's get you some liners. So they sent those out. We did a video on those. Video did terrible. I mean, oh, did I just say that 3 in a row? So the Blessed one, the LasFit one, and the Load Trail one all did bad. That's embarrassing. I gotta keep filming. I gotta keep being honest. You just don't win every time. I mean, thank God some of the videos did good and the channel keeps growing, but yeah, that's life. Let's see what else we got. TIS wheels. These are Nitto tires right here. Let's get them Nittos, boy. Or I needed some TIS tires to go on this truck here. So I reached out to a bunch of different tire companies, kind of with the same pitch. I emailed them all the old school way, typed up something nice, you know. Here's what we got going on. Here's some other projects we've done, companies we've worked with, etc. TIS emailed me back, said, yep, we'd love to work out a deal. Definitely not free. I didn't get tires for free, but, you know, discount, we'll take what we can get. So got those. That video actually did really, really good. Still doing good. So I'm very thankful for that. We're looking at Nitto tires as I talk about the TIS TT1s. But that was a cool video. It was fun. We did that down at OTR. My nephew was over there helping put those on. So that was a riot, man. Just fun to get out and experience some things. So a big shout out to TIS. Then SPE Lab. That's one that's kind of been growing. I believe that's an overseas brand. But they ended up reaching out saying, hey, we're looking to collab with creators. We saw your channel. We think you're doing a great job. Is there any products you could use? I said, yep, go ahead and send me the diff cover for this. We can make it happen. Let's see, that diff cover is actually super, super nice. But I do want to admit something here with you guys. There it is. Yeah, that sucker looks really good on there. But ended up when I got that sucker, the gasket in there was torn, and I put it on anyway. I'm like, oh, it ain't gonna leak. That sucker leaked. Not terrible bad, but it was getting worse. So they ended up sending me a couple seal to replace that for free, obviously, and I made it right. And that was kind of like an example where I was just so desperate to get the video done, I didn't even care if it leaked. So that was probably not the best or the right thing to do, but I felt the need to deliver, you know, since they invested that into me. So I got it right now, but I learned that the gasket actually does matter. I figured it mattered, but to what extent I wasn't sure. Now I'm really sure. Make sure you got good gaskets on there. It just got torn in shipping, you know, it's very thin. So it happens, no sweat, no harm, no foul there. You know, it is what it is. We did get a couple Razor ones too. I keep talking about the truck ones, but obviously Ovi and the guys have a bunch of cool Razors. These are Ovi's right here on his matching trailer. The trailer video, non-sponsored, did absolutely epic. So when we were building the Razor Pro here, I didn't do a ton of sponsored deals because Ovi already had exactly what he wanted, picked out, ordered, and installed, and was just moving super fast on that project, so I didn't really get a chance to stop and try to get some sponsors for it. So we just flew through that one, and then he got the CF Moto here, which we actually took some time to get some sponsors on. This was a build over the winter anyway, so it wasn't going anywhere. So we had some more time. I ended up reaching out to some side-by-side companies, Super ATV. They ended up sending us some merch to wear. That was super awesome. Told them I could rep it in some videos. So thank you to Super ATV. I ended up just reaching out, DMing them on Instagram, sending our stuff out. I'll normally send a couple pictures of the project, and then I will send a couple of videos. If it's a series, you know, what we're working on, or just other content that we've done, as well as the channel link, etc. You know, kind of build a little portfolio for them so they can kind of see what you're about, what your style is, etc. So that was a super good deal. Thank you, superatv.com. That was amazing. Then we also linked up with Planet Side by Side. Ovi looked it up and said, I want this exact wheel and tire package. And he was going to buy it either way. So I reached out to Planet Side by Side. And that way kind of works. Like I reached out and I said, hey, we're buying these either way, but any chance you want to rock with us? And so they're like, yeah, let's figure something out. So we sent them what we wanted, these Obor tires and Metal Effects wheels on here. Got a good deal on those. They shipped them out to us. And then we made a video which actually did pretty decent in regards to our growth and our channel. You know, we're not getting millions of views, but we get 1,000, something like that. We're pretty happy. So got some views on that one. Happy about that. Those guys were really great. They're also going to help us find some wheels for this one, because this one's got stocks on it and looks terrible. We got to get something cool on there, boy. So anyways, that was the Planet side-by-side one. Really happy there. And then what else did we have? Then we did the Perfex Industries. That's the suspension kit here on the CF Moto here in the back. You can see it right there. Perfex Industries. This was a lift kit that Ovi found that he was buying anyways. I reached out to them, said, hey, we're super interested in your lift kit. You want to help sponsor this build on the channel? They were stoked about it too. It seems like that strategy works pretty good. You know, people want to see it in action, and it's stuff we're buying anyway. You know what I mean? It's not like we're just accepting deals to put junk on just to get a deal. I want to make that clear because I get a lot of companies that'll reach out, and this is kind of how I filter. So if you're a company and you're interested in what I'm thinking is, when I see a name that I haven't heard of, you know, in the industry, obviously people talk, we see other influencers out there using products, whether we like them or not, you know. But if we haven't heard of you, I do like a check. I will put your name in Instagram and see if any of the 1,300 people I follow you. So normally, if it's a reputable company in the industry and maybe I'm just not up to snuff because I miss a lot of things, it'll show up like 200 people, 300 people you know follow this company. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. They're probably legit. But if I punch in the name and it's 0, that's a red flag. It's like, okay, maybe you're new, or maybe it's just nobody rocks with you. So I'm very cautious if I punch in your company name and nobody's biting. You know what I mean? Most of the time, it returns results. I'm like, oh man, that's awesome. But I get a lot of no-name companies, a lot of Amazon companies, and I hate to just disregard people because people disregard me a lot, and I know how that feels. But it's just the truth, you know. Maybe we'll take a risk on you if it's something really cool. Maybe we'll wait and see, you know. I feel like a lot of people are waiting and seeing with us too. Where's he going? Where's the channel going? Are they ever going to hit the mark, you know, etc. So no harm, no foul. I'm not going to try to carry blame like, oh, that's the company that stiffed me, man. Forget them. You know, I'm not that way. And people change, right? So anyways, that's a little bit about that. That's those companies so far that we've been able to partner with, and I've been super, super grateful. Just don't get offended, you know, keep grinding. One thing I will say about the Instagram, it's been super, super great for messaging. Okay, even though maybe the content isn't popping off, a lot of our stuff gets 2 or 3 likes, and I'm like, man, this sucker's clap. but the ability to interact with people, especially other creators, gosh, it's so fun. I've got some very, very cool people in our corner that I talk to almost daily, which I never even really thought they would take the time to talk to me, which is very, very cool because, again, just a person, you know what I mean? And I got to realize that these are just people at the end of the day. We kind of all have the same dreams, same ideas, etc. So it's just been so fun, man. It's an absolute blessing for sure. I did want to introduce our newest sponsor here, though. I do want to show you guys Southern Diesel Works coming through with a hoodie for the channel. They started following our page on Instagram. We've been liking each other's content back and forth. So I ended up saying I was going to buy a hoodie off them to wear on the channel. They said, forget that. I'm sending you one. Send me your address. And like the very next day, this sucker has showed up. So I'm super excited to introduce Southern Diesel Works here on the channel. Seen them all over YouTube, all over Instagram. I think they go to all the big truck meets too. Oh my gosh. We got hooked up, boy. And the keychain. Wow. Look at that booger. See, this is insane, man. What a feeling. Again, just out here in the shop, man. And we got cool stuff showing up. Cool people rocking with us. I need to throw this on, don't I? Yes, man. We appreciate the support too, man. That is super, super epic. And yeah, it just popped in my head, guys. Got that Southern Diesel Works on. But anyways, a couple things that did come up when I did install this video. People noticed in the comments, and so did HSP, that I had this pipe going the 180-degree wrong way. And this sensor, if you can see, the arrow was pointing the wrong way for the airflow. So it was throwing a code in the cab for like a whole 3 years, which was so sad. But thank you guys for noticing that. They also noticed that this is on backwards. It actually flows better the other way, so I gotta switch this out. I did mention the track bars I messed up. I messed up the diff cover, and so yeah, we are just losing sponsors left and right today. But I did want to show you guys that I'm not perfect. You don't have to be big. You don't have to be somebody crazy to get a deal. Just be genuine. Try to put out a good product. Again, I do try to film with a good camera. I try to match all the audio, make sure everything looks right. I spend way more time editing than I do filming. I wish I had more time to film. These videos also get filmed like with 0 time, so I have a career, I have a family, I have no time to do this and still find a way to do this. So don't think this has to be your full-time job by any means to make this work. Share some stories below. And again, I'm not perfect either. So sometimes I try way too hard and get nothing for it, and it shows. And then sometimes you strike gold, but you just got to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, you're going to fail every time. So pick yourself up, learn, and keep going. So that's my advice for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Give the video a big thumbs up, share it, and we'll see you guys in the next one. God bless you all. Peace.